All right, this one is going to take a couple of videos, and I hope you enjoy it because I know I am. Custom work going on right here. I love doing custom work. Yes, it is more expensive because it is so much more time consuming, but it's absolutely stunning. It makes the quilt elevated to so many higher degrees than just running an edge to edge if your quilt is the one that will sustain that. If that's something that you want to invest in, then consider talking about some custom quilting. Patti knew exactly what she wanted when she came here. She knew that she wanted custom quilting, and she knew that she wanted to have feathers on the quilt, and she knew where she did and did not want certain types of quilting. And so I went through my designs to find something that would work nicely for her. All of her double 9 patches are getting this lovely feather block that I'm putting into it right here. It's a circular feather wreath. I'm doing all of the stitching in these sections in my lovely light wild lavender. Okay, now that block is done, and what I'm literally going to have to do is every single time I'm going to have to push continue, and she's going to have to move to the next section, and I literally manually have to push to continue again, and she will do some more stitching. All of the blocks that have the wreath are getting this small feather corner that I created personally just for this quilt, put it together so it would fit around the wreath without getting into the wreath. Here's one that's finished. It's circular around the wreath with that light lavender with all of those feathers, but it's leaving the wreath alone. Now, the wreath has been, here I go again, she's done with that little section. I'm literally having to push continue, move her to the area that I've told her where I want her to run, and then set her to go for a little tiny bit of stitching. So this is very time consuming and very, very lovely. Patti had spent a long time creating these beautiful forget-me-not wreaths right here. She did want to have feathers around it, but she didn't want anything to mar the actual design of the embroidery, which I can understand. Here we go again. It's time consuming and lovely and totally worth it and necessary. It just is what it is. So she spent a lot of time. I can understand why she wouldn't want to have that disturbed. And so I created a design that would go around that. Let me show you what it looks like on the back. You can see how it has the beautiful backing fabric right here, which she did not eliminate, but in this section she did. Beautiful pressing job all the way around. Everything is nicely pressed and prepped. She'd come over one day and we had talked about the ideas, and I wrote them all down, and then she came back another day with the finished quilt, having put on the beautiful borders that she has right here. It's doing the last section of this circular feather sections that I've created. I've also created a border that's fitting on here. I've done the top border and a little bit down the sides. It's amazing because the backing fabric has those same similar feather designs as I'm putting onto the quilt, especially on the border. I made it a nice wide border so it would fit along this almost 8-inch border that she has right here. I'm going to push continue. She's now going to move down into this block, which I've incorporated and told her exactly how big it is and how I want it to lay out. And this one's going to have that nice feather wreath around it. When I get done with these few blocks I have to do here, 3 more, then I will roll the quilt up a little bit and I will do some more of the border. I can probably fit 2 chunks of the feather border going probably. And then I will roll the quilt. I'll either do some more border or I'll do some more of these beautiful blocks. We'll just see which one works out best. The border, like I say, is having to be chunked down section by section, and I need to decide exactly how wide and long each section is going to be so it fits in here. So by the time I get to the bottom, it fits perfectly. So there's a lot of measuring, a lot of dimensions. It's wonderfully time consuming. It's very creative. You just kind of have to realize what's happening and what's being involved. Now, you might be saying, whoa, there's nothing inside of this block with the beautiful forget-me-not wreath. Contraire. Each of those is going to have a cute little forget-me-not flower inside of it, singularly, and that will be done in white. So because I'm doing that one in white, I'm going to wait till the end. I will change out the thread and go back and put that in every single one of these. It's going to be a charmer. The other thing that has to happen when I'm doing custom work like this is all of these strings, all of these threads need to be clipped individually. There's a whole pile of them. There's a whole pile of them in between each piece, lots and lots and lots. And all of these need to be clipped, not only on the front, but also on the back. And so that can be time consuming as well. Just things to be aware of. Nothing wrong here, just an awareness to be done. She did want to make sure that I had white batting to go on the inside because of this white pieces that she has here in the quilt. And yes, I do have some white batting, so that's available. I also have 100% cotton white batting if that's something that you're interested in. The other thing I wanted to point out, which is so interesting, is that all of the white blocks that she has are different white fabrics. And that's because she felt like this was an homage to vintage quilts that our grandmothers would have made. And Grammy frequently didn't have access to all of the same white fabric, let's say white versus another fabric, at the same time. She may not have had the money for it. She may have been using old sheets from a variety of beds in her house that had worn through. She may have not been able to get them because of the location in which she lived, and so they didn't have enough access to enough of these fabrics that were all exactly the same color. So because, like I say, this is an homage to that, she's actually put different white fabrics in all of these blocks, which is so fun. It's very, very subtle, and it's something that you would have to take some time looking at. But if that's where you are, if that's where you're looking, you will figure that out. And it's just a fun little addition to the quilt that she thought that through. Did I tell you this is almost 100 inches? It's 98 inches square. So she is a big girl.